Hey guys, yours truly, Jimmy Williams, better known as the Wisdom Economics Coach. A lot of you have been following me for a couple of years now, and I want to say thank you for following me and giving me the opportunity to share my wealth of information with you when it comes to real estate, finance, and all the other things that I do. You guys know that I do, marketing and creative financing, all those things, fix and flip properties, buying multifamily properties, buying other companies or businesses, and all those things that you see me do. And my number one goal, pardon me, is to help you become successful with some of the techniques and secrets and tricks and, the things that I've used to get ahead and to make my life better for me and my wife and for the people that I love. That's what success is really all about. If it's all about us, then it has very little meaning. But when you start making your success and the things that you do about other people, you really get a really good kick out of it, and it's going to be long lasting. And it will outgrow you. You will become a visionary. And once you leave this planet, you can leave something behind. And that's what I want to do with you. So again, thank you for letting me come to you and share some information that I think is going to be vital to you in the future. All right. If you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, continue to stay updated for updates because I have a lot of new content coming out. We're launching a television broadcast, so that's been taking a lot of time, but I got some great things to share with you. And if you have not subscribed, take a moment. If you're on YouTube, just look below. Click on that little button that says subscribe and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook and follow me for any kind of information that you need. And you can reach out and say, hey, Jimmy, I'd like to see more videos on this or whatever you want that you think you need more information on. I will take the time and share those things with you, okay? Well, let's get into what I've been telling you I wanted to talk about before. It was a few things that was pertaining to what's going on with PPP loans and cryptocurrency. Okay, and there was a couple of the topics that I wanted to get into and tell you about. I'm going to go over them. I'm going to look at them right now. Real estate strategies, and I'm going to discuss briefly the Business in a Box program that many of you have been seeing me talk about. It's a project that me and my partner Travis Robinson, we've been working on for a while. We've been getting a lot of people funded through it, where we come in and we build you a business from scratch. We buy the corporation, we build it out, and take it to funding within 4 to 6 months. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. But people have been having a lot of questions for me, and I said, I'm going to do a whiteboard presentation. I haven't done one of these in probably a year or two, right? But as you can see, it's right here, okay? It's empty right now, but I'm an artist, so I'm going to scrabble quite a bit up here. But take a few minutes, get your notes out, okay? If you have to record this, it's already pre-recorded. You can take it and you can share and just get it out there. But more importantly, you need to get this in your mind and in your mindset and your mentality and get it in you, because you are what you hear all day long. You are what you eat. People say that, physically, but spiritually or mentally, it's what you put in your brain. I'm going to say this for the 15,000th time, you guys. You're going to work your mind or you're going to work your behind. What I mean by that is if you don't find strategies and unorthodox ways to make money smart, you're going to work physically hard and you won't never get what you're worth out of life. You'll be working, and that's nothing wrong with a hardworking job. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. But there's more to life than working so hard. To reach your full potential, you have to tap into greater things by using your mindset, transforming your mind and have a better mindset. And I want to warn you of some things that's been going on, where finance is concerned, because some people don't want to work for something. They want to try to steal and cheat their way to the top. You guys have heard me say this. Don't try to cheat this system, the success system. It's not going to work. It will never work, whether it's real estate, banking, sports, okay? Corporate America. You can't cheat the system, okay? And I'm going to show you some things that I've been seeing going on in the financial realm that I find alarming, and some of the things are great at the same time. So you're going to get a lot of good stuff today. Let's get into this. I'm going to be about 30 minutes, hopefully, or less than that, so you can get back to what you're doing, okay? So if you saw my last post, I talked about the few topics I just mentioned before. PPP loans, how to make a fortune with cryptocurrency. The third thing was real estate, and the fourth thing was the business in a box, right? Just said that before. I want to make sure you're getting this. Let's start with number one, PPP loans, okay? All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to talk about the do's and don'ts, okay? PPP loans. The do's and don'ts, all right? Do's and don'ts. All right. So we do know one thing right now. They just, according to the government, the IRS, not the IRS, but the SBA, they allocated $280 billion for PPP loans. That's big businesses, small businesses. They were going to give those funds out. And those funds are fully allocated according to them. They're out of money. If you remember back in late March 31st was supposed to be the deadline for small businesses to get access to these funds, and they extended it to May 31st. Well, a few days ago, they came out and said, well, there's no more money left. Okay, and that's true for big businesses. But I was watching a video this morning, and I found out that you can go directly to the SBA website. I'm going to put a small video in the description so you can go look this up. There's another guy that does this. He's an attorney, and he's a tax guy. And he went to the website and kind of demonstrate and show you where to go. There's a place on the SBA website where they still have small companies, okay? You can't hardly see this is small companies that give out, that still have funds at PPP money, okay? So these small companies have the money, and you got to go to them to apply. So some of you guys, you go, Lendio and the big ones, they're just exhausted. They have no more money left. But the smaller ones that you never heard of, they still have the money. So you want to go and do that first, all right? So when you do that, apply just like you would normally apply, and send them an email and say, hey, listen, it's urgent that you get back to me. Don't waste any time, guys, because the money is running out. But that's one of the things that you can do, all right? Let's talk about, so that's a do. I would say that's a do, okay? Let's talk about the don'ts, all right? We've been hearing a lot about PPP fraud, right? People don't understand exactly what's happened to the people who's getting caught and getting in trouble. I'm gonna break it down to you really, really simple. Don't do this. If you do not have a legitimate corporation, you're operating as, you're self-employed, but you don't really have a corporation per se with an EIN number, don't go in there and apply for the funds and you don't have an attorney, not an attorney, pardon me, a professional CPA looking over your paperwork to make sure you're structured properly. You have some people that have a mom and pop shop, but they, something real small they're doing out of their home and they never incorporate it. Don't do that. You have to incorporate. In fact, your corporation has to be in existence since 2019 or before to get access to these funds. So if you haven't been in business that long, I highly recommend staying away from that, because if you do get funded and there's a red flag with the SBA or with IRS, the cops may show up at your door. So again, you want to do things with integrity. The second thing you shouldn't do or don't do is falsify the documents and try to do this on your own. All right? I'll give you an example of that. If you are self-employed and you've been around 2 years, and I know this because we've helped several people get funding, including our own businesses. If you've been around 2 years and you're self-employed, you don't have any employees, you can still get about $20,000 as a self-employed worker. But you have to do it under the 1040 Schedule C. And you're going to max out at $20,000. If you try to do more than that, again, the feds may come knocking at your door, because if you don't have any employees and you say that you do, you don't do the Schedule C, you try to do these other forms. There's a couple other forms for people that say they have employees, and they have to go out and show those employees that they paid them and those employees pay their taxes and all that. You can get a lot of trouble if you don't do the 1040 Schedule C. In other words, you're trying to get $50,000 to $60,000 when you can only your max cap for self-employment is is $20,000. 20,000, let me say that again. If you're self-employed, your cap is 20 grand. If you go to try to get 50 grand, the only way to do it is if you lie on the documents and say you have employees, you got to show those employees. And what they're going to do is they're going to reach out to the employees, they go check with the IRS and see if you're lying or not. If you get caught lying, they're going to knock on your door. So the main thing is, you just have to be careful and do things the right way with integrity, because I see a lot of people who don't really know what they're talking about, who are afraid, don't even have a business, and they're just laughing at the people that are going to jail like it's a joke. The fraudsters, PPP loans endure for a night, but the feds come in the morning. I've been seeing that thing out there, and it's not a joke. It really isn't. Because a lot of hardworking people out there, they're entrepreneurs. They don't want to go to jail. They're just trying to make a living for their family, but they hooked up with the wrong person that says they know about documents. They're not dealing with a professional CPA, and they do something wrong in the paperwork, and the feds are coming. They didn't really mean to scam anybody or hurt anybody, but they got the money in a very unethical way. So you want to be very careful of, first of all, the person that's doing your taxes, make sure they're a real CPA, and make sure you tell the truth, and they structure it where it makes sense and you get the amount of money you're supposed to get. Don't try to get too much. There was another guy in California, he falsified documents and said he had all his employees, and he got like $5 million, went and bought Lamborghinis and all that. Very irresponsible business people. And he was indicted and he's going to prison. It's just not worth it. So again, do it the right way, get a good attorney. Don't try to get more money than you're eligible for. If you're a bigger company, i.e. the Los Angeles Lakers and all these companies can get PPP loans, even though they're already rich. They already have money, but they have employees that they have to pay. You being a smaller business, if you're a small business, you can't get $5 million. You can get 20,000. Now, here's another thing. If you have 5 companies and they're legitimate companies, you're paying your taxes. Like in the state of Georgia, my wife and I have 8. So technically, legally, they're all generating income. We can get 8 PPP loans because we have 8 companies. But you can't get 8 PPP loans with only 1 corporation. That's not going to work, right? So again, stay away from that. The good thing about PPP loans is, and I can tell you this for a fact because I know, a lot of my students and my clients, because we have, again, a CPA that knows what she's doing and doing it the right way, they can get that $20,000 forgiven. My wife and I have had several of our loans forgiven, $20,000 or whatever, and through Square and PayPal. Those are some of the bigger people that was lending the funds through their companies. And we had several students that got their loan forgiven. So it's just like having a grant if you know what you're doing, because you have to write off that you made, that your business had, a decrease in revenue at least 25% of the year. That's how you do it. And in most cases, most businesses, because of the pandemic, they did experience some downfall within the last 12 months. So they're able to legally write it off and get that loan forgiven. So I think I talked enough about that. All right. Number 2, I want to get through this quickly here. Cryptocurrency, okay? Crypto, I'm just gonna put crypto up here. All right? I told y'all I couldn't write too well. Crypto, all right? Now, crypto is exciting. I mean, and to me, to be honest with you, when I first started getting into cryptocurrency, I didn't really relate it to real estate. I still think this in my heart and the way I look at business. Real estate is the cream of the crop. It's number 1, I think, because even though the market crashes, it's up and down at times, it has stood the test of time for centuries. Property is wealth. Land is wealth. It equals wealth. You can put cattle on it. You can do hunting on it. You know what I mean? You can grow trees and cut the trees down and make money from that. You can become a farmer. You can build property on it. Land rules over the long haul, okay? But crypto is what I would call the new online real estate, really, because some people say websites is online real estate, right? But crypto is becoming the new way to buy and sell things to help with inflation. That's the best way I'll put that, okay? Sorry about my camera, did a little messy thing there. So what I mean by that, the prices of certain things are going up, but it seems like the American dollar and the other dollars are staying the same. Well, crypto helps to balance that. What do I mean by that? You put $500 in, let's say, DogeCoin. You've been hearing all this stuff about DogeCoin, right? I'm going to talk about DogeCoin in a minute. But you put $500 in DogeCoin, and let's say you buy it at 30 cents a share. That's where I bought it, at 30 cents a share. Well, the other day it went up to 70-something cents, 70 cents a share almost. So I doubled my money and went over, but it went back down again. It's right now, as I'm speaking, it's about 42 cents a share, somewhere in there. But I'm still into profit. That $500 is valued at 50 cents, 47 cents a share, so 30 cents a share. So if I'm able to go to the store, to the market, and I can use my cryptocurrency to buy things, my $500 is worth about $700 now. That will offset. That's the purpose of cryptocurrency. If you really try to understand what it really is all about, it's about offsetting the prices of things. The broccoli goes up in price. The oranges grow up. You know what I mean? The meat goes up in price, but your dollar still stays the same. But if it's in crypto, your $500 is now worth $700. Okay? $500 cash is $700 in crypto. You think that's going to help offset some things? Of course it will. Will you make $1 million on a $500 investment? In most cases, you won't. But if you understand that concept of helping to balance inflation, you can understand crypto. That's what it's really all about. Now, there are times where that $500 investment, had I got in at the right time, it could be worth $20,000 and $30,000. I'm going to do a part 2 of what I'm talking about here, so you can see some actual numbers on paper. But I was reading the other day that had you got the DogeCoin, let's put a big D here, DogeCoin with the dollar sign. If you had got it late June of last year, the other day when it went to from 15 cents a share to 30 cents a share, that let's just say not 500. Let me say something different here. Not 500. Let's go with $1,000 investment. Okay, $1,000 investment, right? Back in June, put a J there. The other day, about 3 weeks ago, when the DogeCoin started going up to like 30 cents, that investment would have been worth about 25 to 30K. $1,000 investment in less than a year. Okay, that's what it would be worth because it shot up. Because think about it, if you got in last June, you would have got in, pennies on the dollar. You could have gotten one share for less than a penny. So what am I saying to you about cryptocurrency? You have to be able to see the future of things. You can't just say, hey, Dogecoin tanked when Elon Musk on last Sunday, he went on Saturday Night Live and started talking and went down, and it just crashed for a week. People who think like that, they're small. First of all, you're thinking small and you're thinking about trying to be a millionaire overnight. It's get rich over time, not get rich quick. So they tanked and said, oh, Dogecoin doesn't work and cryptocurrency doesn't work. If all of us thought like that, you wouldn't make no money. It's the same thing with real estate. If I buy a piece of property today and the value tanks a year or two from now and I just sell it, of course I lost money. But what if I wait 10, 15 years? The market does this. Almost in every market. Stock market does the same thing. What am I saying? You have to have patience when it comes to this stuff. All right? So that $1,000 right now, okay, it's still worth about 25 to 30,000 because it's still over, maybe more than that because Dogecoin is over 40 cents a share. But it went to 71 cents or somewhere in there. It went to 71 cents, guys. Okay? And then it started to tank. But why would I take my investment out? I'm still winning with inflation because, my value, I put $500 in, it's still worth like $600 or $700 right now. Am I still winning? The answer is yes. You have to apply the Warren Buffett rule, okay? Never put in the amount of money never put in more than what you can afford to lose, and invest wisely and be conservative with your investing. Don't be too aggressive. Most people that talk about cryptocurrency and say it don't work and all that, they're not willing to put any investment in and wait. You got to wait it out, all right? So crypto's good. It's good in every facet, believe it or not. You just don't want to put it above real estate because it's not tangible like property is, but it definitely helps with inflation. So you want to use this. I got so much more to say on this, but I can't stay on this. I got to go to the next subject. But you want to take a class, and I'm going to put some links down on crypto. Here's a little secret for you. Don't worry about Bitcoin. You can still invest in Bitcoin, but go to all the ones that were almost like Dogecoin, less than a penny per share to get in. Go and buy you like 10,000 shares when it's less than a penny, and wait a year or two. Okay, just do that. And if you do that, you're going to build yourself a nice portfolio. Diversify. Get yourself like 10 or 15 Bitcoin. Cryptocurrencies. All right. Don't just do Bitcoin. In fact, Bitcoin tanked. It just tanked the other day because when Elon Musk said something else crazy, he said, it's crazy to us, but he knows what he's doing. He said that Tesla is no longer going to take the Bitcoin cryptocurrency to be able to buy the Teslas. So it tanked. But you got to remember, that's psychological. They do that to change the trends because even though it went down, it's going to go back up again. Somebody gets on television and says something crazy, just like the stock market, it tanks. And then it'll come back up again. Patience is the key. Listen, it's just like this. You got to ride the wave. When it's up, down, but eventually it starts doing this. It starts going up and up, It may tank a little bit, but it's going to go back up again, okay? You start over here at 7 cents a share. Now you're talking $2 a share. Okay? But if you got 7 cents a share and you got 10,000 of them, 10,000 shares times $2, you're at $20,000, right? That may take a year or two. Let's say you do that with 5 cryptocurrencies. 5 cryptocurrencies, you buy them at 7 cents a share. A year later, they become $2 a share. Okay, you make $20,000 times 5. That's on 5 cryptocurrencies. So you got $100,000 on 5 cryptocurrencies you bought in a year, before it took off at 7 cents a share. It's your mindset. Diversify. Be patient. The greatest real estate investors are not the ones that go out and fix and flip. They're the ones that buy and hold. Fix and flip. I keep saying this, guys. You cannot build wealth that way unless you take the money you make from a fix and flip property and you invest it in something long term. Buy and hold properties. Buy another company that's generating revenue. Buy some crypto and sit on it. Wealth strategies, guys, not just getting by. All right. Number 3. Let me move this around. Give me a second, guys. There we go. I had to stand up there for a moment. All right. Number 3, let's see here. And we got to wrap up here. Real estate strategies. Okay, now I think RE strategies. Okay, RE strategies. I think you have to be very, very creative now with your investing because of what's going on with the economy and some other things. You have to be very, very creative. You have to stay out of that box. You have to think different now. And the biggest thing that most people are not doing is joint venturing. I think you should be joint venturing. All right. Here's why. I highly recommend JVing. Some of you may have some cash that you made on crypto or something, or taxes or whatever. You have the cash, right? You have that, right? Check mark. But you don't have the credit. One of you come in the deal, you and your partners that you work with, somebody brings the cash, okay? Somebody else brings the credit. They're both are going to be critical right now. You need both. Why do I say that? Well, if you have great credit and you want to go into a multi-million-dollar deal, and you think I'm just going to go there, I have great credit, I'm going to buy this $10 million property, and they're going to do all the financing for me. It's not going to happen. Once you start getting up to over $1 million in deals, multifamily, they want to see some cash flow. They want to see, they want some skin in the game, so to speak. Sometimes they still want you to put 10 to 20% down. No matter, your FICO can be 850, it doesn't matter. You look good on paper, but when you get to closing, who's going to pay closing costs and all those things? Because if the lender does everything and you risk nothing, that doesn't benefit them. So you guys need to figure out a way to find someone that has the cash or who's willing to say, hey, I'll put some money into this thing with you. You joint venture. You're in winter time right now where people start getting afraid. They're going into a shell. They feel like it's not enough, it's lack. So you can't think like that. This is a time of opportunity. All right, it really is. Never look at the glass as being half empty. It's right now, if I've ever seen it in history, it's half full. All right. So this guy, this guy who has a cashier, he has everything to gain by working with you because he has horrible credit. He or she has horrible credit. All right. And here's the thing. The person who has cash does not want to pay 10 million cash for a property. Trust me. They don't want to spend all their liquid cash. Who would do that? It's very unwise. They'd rather use your credit instead of paying 10 million for a property. They can cough up 1 million, right? 1 million in cash, right? Cash. And they'll say, they'll put away or save and hold on to the 9 million. Well, what do you do with the 9 million? You go back to this guy, the guy who has a credit, and find another deal. Go back to the credit guy, right? Find another deal because you got 9 million left. Go find another $10 million property, put 10% down, which is another $1 million. So now you have two properties valued at 10 million apiece. That's $20 million. All you paid out of pocket was 2 million, you still got 8 million to play with. You see what I'm talking about here? Okay, joint venturing is very underrated, but I think now you're going to have to really get serious about doing this stuff. I mean, this is real estate 101. Okay, most people try to be a lone ranger, and you could do that, but you're going to be very limited to as far as what you can do and accomplish. You're far better together than you are apart. All right. So long story short, you got 2 properties. Now you have $20 million in net worth, really, right? But you got the other 8 million to play with. Go find another 8 properties, $1 million apiece, put down. So you're looking at 10 properties worth $10 million. You and your partner together as a conglomerate, you're worth $100 million now. That's all I got to say on that, okay? You need to be urgent about doing this because things are going to change. I'm hearing a lot of different things changing in real estate. The requirements are changing. One thing's for sure, though. Multifamily property, y'all know this already. Rules. Why? Because if there's a property of 100 units in it, right? And 20 people decide to leave, they still got 80 people paying, $1,200 a month. Let's just say $1,000 a month, right? Right? So that's 80K in revenue. Right? I did that wrong. What am I doing here? I told you I wasn't good at this stuff. Okay, so you have $80,000 in revenue because you only have, 20 people left, but the building's big enough and it's got $80,000 in revenue. Is the bank going to still be happy they're getting their money? Of course they are. But if you go buy a single family or one single family after another, you got to find somebody to live there. And if that one person leaves, then what happens? You got to go and do Airbnb or something to keep people to keep your clients in there. Now Airbnb is awesome, but I wouldn't put Airbnb above multifamily. You can make a lot of money with Airbnb, but this is the way to go. Okay. All right. Last but not least, let me just pull this up again here. I'm doing this because I don't want to. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to keep this together here. All right, there we go. All right. I've got to do it this way because I can't. I want to make sure give you guys enough information here so you have enough to run on. Okay. All right. Last but not least, we're going to discuss the Business in a Box program. Pardon me. All right. Now, BIB. And what is it? Okay. BIB. Business in a Box. Basically, what it is, guys, is we've decided to figure out a way. We've been trying this for years to figure out a way to help the average person who does not have a corporation and they have a desire to be an investor, or they want to have a company, a legitimate company, file with the Secretary of State, business. They want to have business, the ability to get business loans and to get business credit. And, you're going to need some personal credit too. We help with that. But we do all these things to make you a legitimate business with, your articles of incorporation, your EIN number, your foreign filing. So if we buy it from another state, we transfer it to your state, business bank account, and eventually take you to business funding. That's what it says with Business in a Box. We do everything for you, right? So I'll leave a link so you can see exactly what we do. There's another video where I talk about it. But basically, we get you a corporation. That's what I said before, right? Okay. That corporation, excuse me, can be anywhere from 2 or 3 to 10 years old. All right. I have clients that have a corporation that's up to 15 years old. These are really good. They're real corporations, and they're filed with their state, their local state. So if we bought that corporation from Colorado, we go, and that's something we do. We go to the Secretary of State. Let's say if you live in Florida, and we literally get that corporation, with all the updates, and transfer it from that other state to Florida to make sure that it's legal, because you legally can't do business in that state without the foreign filing. Okay, so we do the foreign filing. All right, EIN number, right, and the articles. That's the first thing. We get you that in the first 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, 4 to 6 weeks, you have everything. First couple of days, you'll have the corporation, but the foreign filing can sometimes take up to a month, right? Third thing we do is we do business credit. Okay, and we show you how to do all that. And when you get the business credit, you know, there's two things we do. We add trade lines to the business credit, and we do the Dun and Bradstreet, and we tell you some of the other things you got to do to get the net 30s and all that. This takes anywhere from 30 to 90 days to do this part, okay? But once you have all of that, then, you know, we look at your personal credit, because sometimes, you know, depending on what kind of loan we're going to give you, they want to see, some of the lenders want to see 680, even with good business credit. Even with good business credit, guys. All right, they want to see good credit, personal credit. We help you. We look at that and see what it needs, you know, what your personal score needs. So you have the business credit and the personal. So there's no problems when it comes to funding you. All right, and that can take up to 3 months as well, depending on what's on there. Sometimes it takes a little longer if your credit is really jacked up. We got to take all the negatives off, put some trade lines on, things of that nature. All right. So once we do all of that, then we tell you to go to the bank, get a business bank account. Okay. All right. And you got to get the voided checks, okay? Because in order to fund you, you got to have a voided check, all right? And then, you know, we take it to the first place we go to is the SBA, okay? We go to the SBA for funding. There's all kind of funding that we can get you, all right? So we go to SBA, and we try to get you anywhere from, you know, 100 to, you know, 100,000 to 300K, okay? And, you know, once you get that first round of funding and you're fully established, we can go back, and if you have the good credit as well, we try to get your business credit cards in the second round, okay? All right. With business credit cards, you know, when they can be as low as 5 or 10,000 up to 20 and 30, 100. I've even seen business credit cards up to $100,000. That's what we do here. All right. So again, you want to make sure that you do it right, like I've said in the beginning about PPP loans. Get your business structured properly, especially when it comes to the Business in a Box program. But we do all the work for you. You don't have to worry about doing this work yourself. You just get involved, and if you guys are interested in this program, just, you know, there'll be a link and a phone number. You can call us and find out, you know, get more information about this. The guy that runs this program, which is my director of sales, his name is Wes Nathaniel. And I will leave his number in the description so you guys can call him and say, hey, listen, I watched the video with Jimmy talking about the Business in a Box. I'm interested in how, you know, what it costs. And there'll be a link to our website. And I do have financing available because these programs are not cheap. It's a lot of work. You know, we buy the corporation, we buy, you know, the trade lines, and we build the business credit. You know, we do the 405, we pay for that out of pocket. Your virtual office that we create for you, we pay for that for 3 months for you. It's like $100 a month, guys. It's not cheap. But he'll go over the prices with you, okay? Our smallest package is, I think it's $12,000. It's our bronze package. Our biggest package is the platinum package, where we get you anywhere from $200,000 to $300,000, all right? But this is very, very important for people that don't really know how to structure a business. You need a little help, okay? Now, that's pretty much it for me today, guys. I mean, hey, I have so much more to share with you, and I have, you know, I'm gonna do another video where I do a screen share and show you some of the numbers, what I was saying about PPP loans. I'm gonna show you about crypto. I'm gonna show you some cryptocurrencies that are doing very well, that a year ago, they were less than a penny to get in, okay? And i.e., if you put 10,000 last year in them, your valuation right now in cryptocurrency, your portfolio will be about $300,000 off of a $10,000 investment. Okay, I'm serious. So look out for that. And I hope you got something out of this today. I mean, I have so much to share, but again, there's only so much time, you know, that I can do that on a video. As I always say, I'll see you at the top. Take care. Bye-bye.